Hey guys, Ryan Bidoff here, blogging from paradise in beautiful Kalkan, Turkey. We're on the Mediterranean, and you can see there is a somewhat dimmed light situation here. We're staying in a hotel for the day before we do our month-long stay. So basically, in a house. So basically, guys, the lighting will be a little suspect just for today, which is fine. We'll just roll with it. So, guys, just wanted to talk about why it's so important to really love what you do blogging wise. And of course, this applies to everything in life. It really does, because if you don't love it, if you don't have fun with it, of course, what's the point? The point isn't to punish yourself, to struggle, to flail, to just do things to live in survival mode. We kind of know this. But with blogging, and it's really important to just allow the idea to sear itself onto your mind. And it's one of the first modules in my course, How to Get Featured on World Famous Blogs, which I linked to on that Facebook video. You could check it out. The link's down there, a little description of it. But you really have to blog your fun, because just on a worldly level, all of us have all types of fears and mental blocks and limiting beliefs and just all forms of resistance to success, to worldly success, if you will. We just do. Oh, you're a little on YouTube because it's a wider camera, just so you know. So far, nobody's tuned in.
Oh.
Okay.
The other one, you can't see me yet.
Well, because that's that little camera and that's the big camera.
Am I off now?
You're off. I'll pixelate you. I'll go back after the live, after it's recorded. I'll pixelate your face and use give me new people. No, basically. So yeah, guys. Anybody, I don't know, we probably got that reference, which is probably better. But it's so important to really love what you do blogging wise, to have fun with it. The confusing part, though, is, and I said you want to allow this idea to sear itself onto your unconscious mind, not first consciously, but just work its way in, because you're going to see such contrarian advice from a lot of bloggers, and some that may have a higher profile, which is okay, in that everybody can have their own style, their own presentation, their own motive or intent. It's just part of life. Everybody could do as they wish as far as this whole free will thing. But it's going to be so confusing and frustrating and flummoxing. You're going to feel flummoxed, and I like using that word sometimes. But you're really going to be confused, because you're going to see so many bloggers. They'll tell you, teach you, instruct you explicitly, solely, how to make money. And they will use really big numbers if they've achieved those numbers. In a lot of cases, they haven't. A lot of people lie. It's kind of easy to do that in the online world. Other cases, they have achieved the numbers, and that's fine. It's their approach. But the issue is, guys, you have to really do it mainly for fun and for the love of it, because it takes a fairly long time and a lot of practice to become confident enough, to become clear enough, to become skilled enough to dissolve the mental blocks, to allow in the high volume of targeted traffic and increasing income. Like, a lot of people use the phrase, and I've used it too, it takes a lot of work, a lot of time. It's not so much the work and the time. It does seem to be that way, but it's like most of us have so many mental blocks, conscious and unconscious, around success and money and fame and popularity and failure. So all this shit that's kicking around in your mind, all these fears, you have to love this shit and really have fun with it, to keep doing it when nothing appears to be happening. And there's so few bloggers that talk about this, and it's really important. It's something I stress. And again, guys, the course, I link to it both on YouTube and on Facebook. And I'm really giving it the attention it deserves for the first time ever, because I don't have as many blocks now. Hey, Abigail, good to see you, my friend. So I'm sharing it more freely, because I'm dissolving mental blocks and letting go, years into my career. And this is how it goes. And there's not a lot of bloggers that talk about, from a level of transparency, their failures and their fears and their struggles and what they're still learning now, really deeper and deeper into their blogging career. But one of the things that I do more and more on a daily basis, as you guys know, I study and practically apply some of the lessons from a book called A Course in Miracles. One of the tenets of this book, and it's essentially a mind training manual from the mind of Jesus. There, I said it. So that's fine. That's another private thought, or people pleasing. But David Hoffmeister, who is basically Jesus's modern day disciple, he's in tune with he's in tune with the Holy Spirit. One of his points, and of course Jesus makes it in the book, it's no private thoughts and no people pleasing. And it just means not unloading on people. It doesn't mean, F you or whatever. Sometimes we do that. Or no private thoughts, quote unquote, no filter. It means expressing your fears, feeling vulnerable and expressing it, sharing things that feel embarrassing or you feel ashamed about. And there was a part of me, like with the course, where I felt Course in Miracles, but even with my course, like feeling like even saying that, I haven't given enough the love that's deserved. Well, I had a lot of blocks around it. And it's okay for me to share that now in a public setting. No private thoughts. I'm not keeping it private, and I'm not doing it to please you, to make it like, whatever, just dance around it. So for me to get to this point, I really did have to enjoy blogging a lot and have a lot of fun. And again, David Hoffmeister talking about it, Jesus with the course, no private thoughts, no people pleasing. That's the type of stuff, the type of fears, the shame, the embarrassment, those like icky feelings, if you will. You only get to those points when you're doing something, in most cases, for a really long time, and you're only going to do something for a really long time and keep at it because you're doing it predominantly for fun and predominantly because you enjoy it. And that's why you need to really have fun with blogging, why it's the first lesson, the first module in the course. You have to blog your fun, guys, because it's just, on a worldly level, it's going to take a lot of practice, a lot of time, and the dissolution, the dissolving of a lot of mental blocks to actually see increased success. And you'll see it come through different channels. Like one of the things that has unfolded with Blogging from Paradise, which I thought has been really cool, I've never pitched any blogger ever for a link exchange. I've just built relationships. And I guess I'm getting clear on certain aspects of my blog, but organically, and some are through blog comments, but others do follow through mentions or interviews or guest posts, or whatever. 73,000 backlinks, or now it's 75,000, point back to my blog. So that only happens when people ask, like, how did you do that? Well, number one, it's community. But number two, I kept at it for a real long time, and I only kept at blogging for a real long time because I loved it and I had fun with it. You can't base your driver only on money because you'll quit so quickly. And I've seen it happen, not exaggerating, guys. I've been blogging since 2008 or 2009, whatever it is. I checked the first hosting bill, but we're talking 14, 15 years, 13, 14 years that I've been blogging. So I'm not exaggerating, like literally thousands to tens of thousands of bloggers I have seen that chase money. And then when they don't make money quickly because they don't have any skills, they haven't practiced, they're greedy, they're desperate, they do things like spam their link, they don't gain any credibility, they're not helping people. They're not doing anything useful or valuable. They're not being helpful. They're like, I haven't made money. I made zero, zilch after 1 week, after a month, after 3 months, or after 6 months. And they quit because they're not doing it because it's fun to them, because they're passionate about it. Then on the flip side, the ones that stick at it and get through all the head trash, all the egoic stuff that everybody has to get through. Hey, Kabir. Greetings from Turkey. Those are the ones that really have fun with it. Now, you guys probably know John Chow. He's one of the top bloggers in the world, and from a financial level, he's made a lot of money. I don't know if it's been millions through blogging, But I was at a sales conference, or not sales conference, I'm thinking back to my software inside sales days, but basically internet marketing convention in New York. I think it was Affiliate Summit East. And he was so explicit and so straightforward. And I'm glad he shared this because I've never really seen him share it on his blog, full transparency. It was a lot of, outcomes-based stuff, which is fine. But he's like, I started blogging, he told us. And this is one of the top bloggers in the world. He's like, I started this at the time. This is Affiliate Summit East in like 2017 or something. I started it 15 years ago with the sole intent, the only intent was to share travel pictures with my family. That's all he wanted out of his blog. He's like, I thought it would be fun. I remember he's like, it would be fun. I'd enjoy sharing travel pictures with my family. He wasn't even thinking about the general public. He's like, well, they're the only ones who are going to see it anyway. As he progressed, he was explicit for a long time, not for like 2 months or 3 months or 6 months, for a long time. He's like, all I cared about, it evolved out of sharing travel pictures from my family, but all I cared about was just publishing helpful content. So see, he was focused on the help, no money, no popularity. He was doing it for the fun of helping people. Now, of course, it gradually evolved into something really, really big, only because he did it mainly for the fun of it. And it's so difficult in this world where you're going to see everyone, most of the top bloggers are so outcomes based. And it looks like some of their work gets real big pub. And again, guys, they seem to be really popular. It's free will. They could do whatever they want, but it's going to be so difficult for you when you look at them and you're like, oh, it appears to be so easy to them. And they're making so much money. How do I do that? I want money. I want to leave my job. I'm depressed. There's this thing called blogging. Oh, I can make big money through it. And I don't have to really interact with people that much. All these ideas that the ego creates. A lot of bloggers, they get a rude awakening. You're going to have this intent, and then you'll come across a video like this and you'll be like, wow, doing it mainly for fun. Is that how those top bloggers became top bloggers? Well, I won't share it, but yeah. Yeah, because they're mainly focused on outcomes and it's worked for them. And then you have guys like Pat Flynn, who does the income claims bit from a completely, it's weird. I got a call. One of the first times I got that. I'll have to block that person after. Stop it. Stop it, you. Stop it.
Where are they calling you?
I have no idea. But they keep actually, no, I'll go to Facebook and block them now. Sorry, whoever you are.
Oh, they're calling on Facebook.
Yeah, they call me on Facebook. I'm going to hold this conversation, guys. Sorry, buddy. I have to block you because I'm trying to do videos. And it's, what it is? Each time they called me, sorry, friend. It was real. Basically, block. No, well, each time they called me, it's stopping the live video, and I never knew it would do that. So yeah, that won't happen anymore, at least with that person. Sorry, buddy. It was good knowing you. So basically, online, obviously, don't take it personal. It's never about the other person. It's just blocking to me, guys, just so you know, that's hanging up on someone. You want a telemarketer? Oh, no, wait a second. I'm aging myself. Give me 48 in 3 days. And I had these things called telemarketers back in the day. And during dinner, my mom would be like, it's the goddamn telemarketers. And my dad would get all angry, but whatever. Different story, different time. But that's what hanging up on someone is what blocking is to me. So again, you'll see these bloggers that talk about all these great results, and then you'll come across them and you'll be like, why don't they ever talk about the passion or fun or it's so rare? Everybody has a different delivery, but I'm trying to stress to you right now, guys, the only reason these people kept at it in virtually every case, really most cases, is because they loved it and they did it for the fun, because you have to practice writing and create and connect on a worldly level, from a level of pure openness. Yeah, you can succeed quickly. Fearlessness, absolute clear, but it's never going to happen because we all have so much head trash. I keep uncovering more and more every day. And it's because I'm becoming even more transparent than I've always been. And it's not focusing on weaknesses. It's just, I have to be honest with you so I sleep well at night. And so I empower you and share that, yeah, stuff's going to come up. However, you gotta do freaking uncomfortable things that are fun and freeing, and sometimes they'll feel uncomfortable, to keep at it to get you through the head trash and to get you through the obstacles. because you're going to be writing for a while and creating and connecting, publishing some genuine detailed content, gaining critical and valuable experience, and nothing will appear to be happening with your blog. You'll see zero profits for maybe months, zero income, and maybe 3 readers and 5 readers, and then 10 readers. And then you'll get, after month 3, maybe 30 people a day are visiting your blog. Like, this is how it happens. Even though what you're doing, you're getting clear, you're gaining skills, you just have to practice before the results come. And that means you have to have fun doing it. Having fun has to be your main driver to keep going, because you're not going to have anything else. Again, at Affiliate Summit East, there was one blogger who's, the reason why I don't want to focus on money outcomes yet, it's just, when you think of these people that do things titanically with money, to most bloggers, it could be so uncomfortable to like accept the truth with these guys, because a lot of people say, oh, they're lucky. This blogger, at the time, he was getting 1,000 emails a day. And he only responded. He told us, he's like, I only replied to people who wrote me one sentence. I had to have a filtering mechanism. I was getting 1,000 a day and everybody else lacked clarity. Talk about posture. This guy published 2 to 3 long form posts every day. And it's not the work, guys. It's the mindset. It's the fun. It's the love. But he had the proper mindset, the abundance mindset of doing it for fun and helping people and no outcomes, where he published 2 to 3 in-depth long-form posts a day, and he was building his friend network at the same time for a whole year, not a week. And it's not the work, it's just purely his mindset. Everything's mindset, any work you move into. The guy loved it. He did it mainly for the fun of it. In the first year, he made like $600. And most people would completely panic and quit after saying, holy shit, these posts are worth millions of dollars. Tens of thousands. I made $600 after the whole year. But he had a different mindset, and he did it for fun, and he trusted himself. Gradually, he became a millionaire through blogging. So he made 7 figures, millions of dollars, in a world where 82% never make more than $100 for their whole career. 8 out of 10 never make more than $100. And most of those bloggers either make 0 or a couple cents. It's just how it is. And you're like, why does this guy make millions? Because most bloggers wouldn't, in their mind, they wouldn't do it for that level of fun. They wouldn't put up with that. They couldn't tolerate it. They'd quit. Now this guy gets 1,000 emails a day, or at least that was a couple of years ago. And he would only respond to 1 sentence, people, because everybody else lacked clarity. It's his mindset. You don't do that unless you're doing it mainly for fun. And you'll see so many bloggers, it's not about fun. Barely, not at all. They'll be like, what am I getting out of it? What am I getting out of it? And you can't keep doing that, guys, because you'll keep reliving the same cycle. And this is why I stress the point in the course. And this is why, in general, why I say, just from my personal experience and then other bloggers, some of whom share it and some of whom don't, you really have to have fun with this, because you got to keep doing it when nothing appears to be happening, when you're not seeing numbers, when you're not seeing traffic, when nobody appears to be listening, nobody's commenting on your blog. And I asked bloggers a question on Twitter, and it works in nicely with this idea. What scares you the most about blogging? And pretty much the number one response that came up was blogging for a chorus of crickets. What's been happening with a lot of these bloggers? Like, I blog and nobody reads them. I feel like it's a cyber diary. Nobody's leaving a comment. I feel like I'm blogging for an echo chamber. I think that's what one of my blogging buddies said. And a lot of people, like, it scares me that I'm wasting my time. That's why you need to have fun doing it. Because if you look at the outcome of I will only blog if people show up, they're not going to show up until you really keep at it. Trust me, I've been doing this for a long time. In the beginning, nobody showed up for a while. And my writing was shit, and that's okay. And most of us, our writing is not really clear and confident in the beginning. But there was an aspect about it that was fun and freeing, and that goaded me forward. But most bloggers, like that 8 out of 10, 82%, they're not doing it for fun because they keep going. You have to love your niche, and you have to love writing, helping people through the written word. You have to really be generous. And again, the world doesn't like to stress this, but when you see these high level bloggers or entrepreneurs, it's difficult to accept, and the world doesn't stress this point. But when they become more transparent or they just delve into that area, they're like, I was at this for a while because I really loved it until things came together. And I forget what I've seen a few different celebrities. I know one was a comedian, and there's a few others where they're reporters, and this is how the ego works, the world works. They're like, oh, how does it feel to be an overnight success? And I remember the one comedian, she was like, I was doing this for 9 years, struggling in clubs. Nobody was there. Or even like Kevin Hart, when they're like, he would stay up till 1 o'clock to get up. He would get on the mic at 1 a.m. He would stay there when nobody was there. That's passion. That's fun. You will not reach that point. Or even Seinfeld, he never broke the chain all those years before he was a billionaire. And just writing comedy, he would never break the chain because he loved it. He had fun with it. You got to have fun with blogging, guys. It's the only way you will persist, because you have to have a driver. It has to come from within, from your heart. Have fun with your niche, to have fun helping people when you're not seeing the money or the popularity or the comments of the readers, because you got to practice for a long time to get good at it. You just have to. And the fun, the passion, that's what shines through. Now, is it comfortable? No. Is it challenging? Yes. But that's why I have courses, and I have my blog, and I have ebooks and videos like this. And that's why when you come across something like this as a blogger that really seems to resonate with you, soak it up. This is a very important message. And it's not because I'm saying it. It's not because it's coming from me. It's because this fun driver that's focused on the heart and love, that's what's going to get you through the ups and downs. And it's going to make it enjoyable. And it will help you keep at it and practice until you thrive or warm up. And that's another point too I wanted to make. I'm doing the video. This is a key message, but as my wife Kelly walks into the room, it's pretty cold here. So I know by doing this, I would get my energy up. We're in a place in Turkey that's on the Mediterranean. And during the summertime, it looks like a classic Riviera type place on the Mediterranean. Just, glam, fabulous, beautiful homes right over the water, mountains, cliffs, all that good stuff. But the place we're at is a beautiful little hotel. It's not built for the winter. And today's like upper 40s, cold, rainy. There's big thunderstorms earlier today. So this room is really cold. But it's really, really cold, and they don't really have a really solid heater because, again, it's a summertime place. It's not a wintertime place. Very few people come here during the winter. So I knew doing the video for 25 minutes or a half hour would warm me up a bit. But there's another reason why I'm going to cut this short. And so I had 3-ish. I also brought coffee to warm up. So I want to have a cup of coffee before. Well, the heat will be good, but I don't want to get too late. But also maybe do some yoga and stuff. So guys, that's the basic message. If you're not having fun, you're wasting your time. Now, this goes for everything in life. Like my wife, Kelly, and I, we circle the globe. It could be really uncomfortable sometimes. It could be challenging in moments, but overall, we have lots of fun. We just went and had a traditional Turkish lunch in Adana, like these little Turkish restaurants, informal type places, amazing food. Have my little Turkish tea. It's fun. It's really fun to do what we're doing for us. And I think for a lot of people, but what's the point if you're not doing what's fun? I think a lot of people, that's just making that general point too, thinking about fun. They live this life in survival mode, and you want to be cautious, be hyper aware of, maybe you're bringing the same type of intent to blogging. Maybe you've been programmed unconsciously, egoically, but by people around you, by minds around you, really, to live in survival mode and to pay bills and to do this and to do that and avoid your fears and just cover all these bases without thinking about, but is it actually fun? Am I having fun doing this? So remember that message with your life and think about blogging and where you may be taking the same survival mode mindset to it. It's not going to work. You're going to crap out. You're going to fail. You're going to quit. You got to have fun with it, guys. That's the point. And having fun is the only reason why you'll keep doing it when nothing appears to be happening. So you have to have something That's not tangible. The intangible joy, passion. The dogs get a little more active later in the day. One other thing too here in Turkey, guys, the culture is street dogs. There's a lot of street dogs. They're really well taken care of, predominantly really well fed. They're all tagged on the ear. Most of them are. They've been fixed, and people look after them. They feed them and give them water, so they're healthy and swarthy looking. And I was telling Kelly before, we saw 2 Kangals, no 3. As you guys may know, Turkish Kangals, gorgeous, big Turkish dogs, very powerful dogs. They have the strongest bite force in the world. It's like, I don't know how many times the pit bull, but they're really tough dogs. They could fight off wolves, bred to fight off wolves and bears, literally, on the Turkish steppes or really throughout Turkey as shepherds use them, but just in general, you see them all over the place. But such gorgeous dogs, and here they're quote unquote a street dog, even though they're so handsome and taken care of. But thinking about them being a simple street dog here, where it's not a big deal, in the States, they'd be very exotic and quite expensive. So interesting to see that different perception. So guys, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure, there you go, I'm thinking ahead of myself, to share it with your friends. And again, guys, the course is how to get featured on world famous blogs. I included a link to the course through the Facebook video, and you could check it out down there. You can click on it and learn a little bit more. And this was the first module, like blog your fun. You really got to pick a niche that feels fun to you to explore, and that feels fun to research, and that feels fun for you as far as helping people. And I really do enjoy the blogging tips niche, guys, because it's fun to help people thrive as bloggers, but more importantly, to get through that really uncomfortable head trash that we all have to navigate and wade through, because it's just going to be there. There's going to be a lot of fear, so you better really have a passion for what you do. It's how you'll keep doing it when stuff doesn't appear to be happening, when you appear to be maybe on a worldly level struggling, or you're just not seeing the comments and the readers and the income or any of that stuff. So guys, love yous. Thanks so much for joining. I will say ta-ta YouTube. I got to warm up here with some nice Turkish coffee. Well, actually, I'm lying, it's Starbucks. And Facebook, thanks so much, guys.